Hey everyone, it's Jen Seal, and I want to welcome you to today's practice. If you were unable to join me live today, I am recording this session so you can choose to watch it at your leisure. Today's practice is going to be focused more in a yin inspired way. It's just a nice way to slow things down. It's great for beginners. A lot of the poses are going to be held for longer than normal duration of time, but the nice slow pace and the longer holds really allow you to deeply, relax into the muscles. So as you can tell, it's daylight here for me. It's still morning, but this is a practice you could do really any time of day. Really nice also to practice it at night, right? Um, I'm going to suggest that you have a couple of blocks or a couple of props. Sorry. I have a block, I have a strap, I have a pillow like a bolster. Um, just anything that you can use that you have around your house. If you don't have a strap, you can use a scarf, you can use a towel, you can use a pillow underneath your seat if that would be more comfortable for you when we're sitting. Um, and for blocks, books, anything that you can use to prop yourself up. I'm going to take a moment to go get those. I'll meet you on your mat. About 30-minute practice today, everyone. Okay, cool. And my cat is joining us as well. So say hi to Cass. All right. This is what I have for my prop today. It is a bolster, but as you can tell, it sort of looks like a pillow. So something you can put underneath your seat to elevate your seat up to begin. You could start in a cross-legged position like I am right now, but if that's not comfortable for you, you can certainly extend your legs forward, move yourself up against a wall, anything to help you just kind of keep your spine nice and long and straight. So when we say get into a comfortable seat, what we mean by that is you want to be able to sit comfortably without feeling discomfort. Okay. So as much as you need to put underneath your seat to make yourself comfortable, just get there. Okay. And I'm going to just place your palms, excuse me, on your knees. You can have your palms face down or you can have your palms faced up. Generally, what I suggest is if it's in the morning for you, like it is for me, I really like awakening my body, like with my palms up, just as if I'm receiving the day, whatever it might offer to me today. Just an openness, a sense of willingness to just greet my day. If, however, you're doing this at night or you're just feeling really kind of like overstressed, you can place your palms down. So it's your choice, whichever you prefer. Palms down is more grounding, palms up, it's just more receiving. And then begin to close your eyes and soften in. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Let the tongue move away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your shoulders. Just feel a connection of the lower half of your body to whatever it is you're on. A pillow, block, a bolster. And just feel completely supported by the ground beneath you. And then begin to draw your attention to your breath and just notice how you are organically breathing today. Where is your breath going? How are you breathing? Are you breathing in through your nose, through your mouth, out through your nose, out through your mouth? Take a moment to notice how long your breath is on the inhale and how long the breath is on the exhale. You may even count your breaths. So you want to try, just notice first, perhaps your in-breath is shorter than your out-breath. And that can be very interesting. Right? And then if you can, close the mouth and try to draw the breath into the nose. And in doing so, try to bring that breath all the way into the belly. Allow the belly to expand. And then open the mouth and let the breath out through the mouth slowly. Notice the expansion as you breathe in, and sort of the contraction as you breathe out of the core. How your body is moving in relation to the breath. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, inhale and exhale. And now if you can, try to keep the mouth closed on the out breath as well. Draw the breath into the nose nice and slowly. Let the belly fill up, let the side body fill up, let the lungs fill up fully and completely, and then exhaling slowly. If it feels weird at first, it's totally fine. If it doesn't feel right, breathe in any way that feels right for you. We're just going to be here for another few breaths. Really settling into the body and noticing how we feel as we're taking these breaths in, slowing the breath down, trying to even the breaths out. See if you can keep the face soft, body soft, and just feel the breath moving in and out of the body. And now take a moment to pause to see just how you feel today. Let the breath be any way that feels good for you. Is there any part of the body today that feels a little tight, a little tense? Any knots, any sensations? Just notice them. First principle in yoga is ahimsa. It means kindness, to do no harm. So we want to be kind to our body when we come to our practice. Practice kindness today. Let kindness be your intention. Take one more nice deep breath in. And just let it out. Sigh it out. I'm going to open the eyes. Good. And just going to move your fingers around. You're going to move your body around a little bit. You rock a little side to side. Nice deep breath in as you shrug it out. And let those arms reach up towards the ceiling. You can put your palms together if you'd like, or clasp your hands. And let those palms float up towards the ceiling. Fill the body up with the breath as you exhale. Flip the palms and draw the belly to your spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Now again, if this doesn't feel good, just reach up. And then exhale. Inhale. So we want to be able to honor the body in a way that feels good for us. You take the arms behind you, clasp the hands, knuckles down, and broaden the chest. Just feel the breath move into the upper cavity of your body, to the sternum. Just feel the sternum lift, breathing into the heart space. Good. Exhale. We're just going to come into a side body stretch. So take the left hand to the floor, right arm reaches up. Keep your sitting bones pressing down firmly into the floor or the pillow. Try to let them lift up. So you really just want to get into that side body stretch and fill up the lungs fully with your breath. So the left side body, right, it's getting your love here right now. And let's do one more round. Stretch it again. Each time we come in, we get a little bit deeper, a little bit more stretch. And again to the other side. So feel it. Where do you feel it? Feel it in your rib cage, right? Breathe into it. Good. And then helicopter your arms to your left. Just looking over the left shoulder. Try to keep your spine nice and long. So you can look over your left shoulder. You can look over your right shoulder. It's good for me today to look in the opposite direction. And twist to the other side. Remember, our bodies are different. Every single time you come to your mat, right? You know, kind of listen to what your body needs. Okay. And come back to center. All right, everyone, we're coming off of this pillow bolster. Just put it off to the side. You might need it later. And then come onto your knees and shins. And so, because we've been sitting, let's just let the front of the hips here release a little bit. So again, take those hands, clasp them behind you, and just slowly look up. You want to lift from your belly button to your sternum, like lift up. You're creating a nice opening for the upper back. And again, breathing into the heart. Good. And we're going to come into child's pose. So with child's pose, this may not be a completely comfortable position for some of you, especially if you've got some issues with your knees. So I'm going to suggest that you put something like a blanket or something under your knees if that's helpful. And the idea is to bring your hips towards your heels. Now, I happen to have enough flexibility in my quads to be able to do this, but this may not look like you, and that's totally okay. The idea is to extend your arms forward, and if you're up here, that's totally okay. You can put a pillow between your thighs and your calves if you want. And I have this beautiful bolster, right? And I can certainly use it to prop my head up. Right? I can put my forehead on here. So I'm going to go to where I can go in my body, which is sinking the hips back. And I'm going to actually use this. I'm going to use my block. I'm going to frame the block with my hands, and I'm going to put my forehead on top of the block. So we're going to be here for about a minute or so. All right. So I want you to find that comfortable spot that works for you. Okay. And the idea is to feel the sensations that you feel, right? Where you feel a stretch. This is a restorative posture. It's one that is meant to kind of calm the mind, calm the body, but it can also bring discomfort. So we want to make sure we are creating comfort in a way that works in your body today. Right? So close the eyes. Notice where the breath is moving to. It's likely that you're going to feel a little bit of pressure in your abdomen with your belly towards your thighs. So this invites you to breathe into your back body. Okay. Breathe into the back, breathe into your kidneys. Imagine with every breath, you are using that inhale to bring in full oxygenated breath, right, throughout your whole body. And the exhale is allowing you to just release tension and stress. Any toxicity maybe gathered up in any particular area. All right. One more full breath here, everyone. As you let it out, begin to look up. Take the block out slowly, look forward. Move away your props. And just come to all fours. I want you to just extend the right leg behind you. Right? Just, again, opening up the front of that hip. Lifting up the back leg. Right. And then bringing it back down. Extend the left leg behind you. And press into the heel if that feels good for a moment. And then lift it up. And bring it down. You can rotate your ankles around a little bit and press the tops of the feet down. I'm coming to some cat-cow stretches here. Really nice for keeping the spine supple. So look at your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide. And you're going to slightly turn your fingertips outward. So not totally, but just, we don't want them pointing in towards each other. We want to sort of open the hands, style the hands out just a little bit. And on the in-breath, push into the floor and drop the belly down towards the floor, looking forward as you exhale. So we're moving with our breath, right? You're pulling the belly towards your spine, looking back towards your knees and rounding your back like a cat. And then inhaling, looking forward, lifting the chin away from the chest, exhaling, push the floor away, belly in towards spine. So you're rinsing again, the breath here. That exhale is pressing into the lungs and releasing all the air that's in there, all the stale air. If you're not taking deep breaths in and out, there might be a little stale air left in those lungs, and that means you don't have as much space to take a full deep breath in. So we want to get in touch with that. Cow pose, breathe in. Cat pose, breathe out. You might even be able to hear your breath, and it's comfortable for you to keep your mouth closed during this process and breathe in and out through your mouth or your nose. Feel free to do that. Okay, last one. Nice job. All right, we're going to come into threading the needle pose. So you're going to take your left arm out. I'm going to go to this side first so I can see you. You're going to thread your left arm under your right. So bend your right elbow. And again, I'm going to take my pillow here and I'm going to place it underneath my left temple. Okay. And basically you're opening the outer shoulder here. You can support yourself with your right hand. Okay. Or you can put your right palm on top of the left. And the butt's lifted here, right? It just gives us some space. So again, we're opening up the outer shoulder. So if you feel any stuckness or tension here, move until you can sort of find what works best for you. It's a little gentle twist as well. And come back to that. Once you're in the pose, it gives you the opportunity to feel the stretches, to feel where it may, you need to bring your breath. It might be tight. Let's take one more breath here, and we're going to take it to the other side. So slowly rise, reset. Right arm reaches up, and then thread underneath. So I'm going to be looking left this time. Again, we're not here too long. So now the pillow is going to be on your right temple. And just continue to breathe. Maybe your left palm goes on top of your right. And notice if you've got any thoughts that are kind of stirring in your mind that are taking you away from your present moment. Take one more nice deep breath here. And slowly use your left hand to come back up. Nice job. Thread the needle. Let's come on our knees and shins again. And open up the front body. Look up. And release. Okay. So taking, if you have a block, well, let's just see if we'll need them. We can do something else. So come up on your knees and shins and place your right foot in front of you. And you want to walk it till it's straight. You want to make sure your hips are facing forward, and you're just going to hinge forward. So again, you can put something underneath that left knee if it bothers you. And I want to have you place your palms on top of your knees today, and we'll just allow for that left hip to open. It should feel really nice. If you want to be a little bit more restorative with this pose, okay, you can take your arms, cross them, and then drop your chin towards your chest. Again, in yin, it's a quieter practice. It's a quieter practice. It's introspective. It's a feeling. It's style of yoga where you can be in this pose and just really allow for the stretch to, I don't want to say unravel, but it's to release a little bit more slowly. You're giving it a little bit more time, right? Let's just take one more nice deep breath here. And just slowly, now here's where blocks come in handy. You can just sort of use your blocks or use your elevated tools that you've chosen to support you. But you can also bring your fingertips to the mat. And then just slowly drop back. I'm going to take the left foot forward. And again, walk those hips are facing forward. Start here with just hinging. So you see I kind of have an angle here. My cat is not impressed at all by this. Palms on top of each other, pressing into the knee. Looking forward or crossing the arms on the knee and bowing your chin to your chest. So this is, again, a little bit more restorative. It's a little bit more maybe comfortable for your neck. Try not to squinch your toes and relax your shoulders away from your ears. In the end, we don't have a lot of time because Zoom kicks you out, but poses are usually held from either 1 to 5 minutes. So if you can imagine that. Some classes I've only done 6 poses in 1 hour. Okay, deep restoration of the muscles. All right, take one more breath here. So notice what we're doing here. You're opening this front of the hip. If you sit a lot, right, this gets really, this muscle here gets shortened and it'll affect our stride, right? It'll affect the way we walk. We want to keep our hip flexors nice and open. So that's why this is such a great pose to stay in for a period of time. Ow, hi kitty. All right, so slide that back. We're gonna flip it over, okay? Flip it over onto the back. Now, this is where I say, if you have a strap or a scarf or a towel, you can unravel. I think it's gonna be useful. Just take it with you. If you don't have one today, that's okay too. Reach and extend. Good. And then just hug those. Thank you. Cat is demonstrating down dog. Hug the knees into your chest. Hi. And put the left foot on the floor. Now, if you don't have a strap, you can always just extend the leg up towards the ceiling and clasp your hand behind. Okay. If you do, however, I'm going to take that strap to the ball mound of your toe, so not in the arch. And you take the strap in your right hand, okay? And you can feel this, we could just stay here if we wanted to, right? You could feel just a slight resistance in the back of your hamstring. So we're stretching the back of our leg. If you want to intensify this, you can always extend the left leg forward. You probably can't see, but I'm able to press my left thigh down to the mat. It doesn't always happen. Some people are here and that's going to tell you that you're tight, okay, in this left hip flexor. So hip flexor exercises are really, opening exercises are really good for you. All right, now, again, you can stay here for a while to just stretch this out. I'm just going to go through this little sequence here. And this will just allow you, this is just a tool you can take into your toolbox. Let the right arm go down, right elbow go down, and let the right foot go towards the right. But try not to let the left hip pop up. So bring your left hand to your left hip. So this is just targeting the back of the leg, the inner thigh now, and then when we take it across, it'll target the outer thigh. So again, I'm not doing this, we're not staying here too long, but you are welcome to, if this feels good to do this on your own. and stay for as long as it feels right for you. You just take it up. Taking the strap in my left hand now, extending my right arm out to the side for support, and then allowing the leg to move towards the left side. Pause there to feel the stretch in the outer part of your thigh, maybe into your glutes. And then allow this hip to rise as you take it all the way across. Again, to the extent that feels good for you, it may not touch the floor. You're using the strap to create that resistance. Now, if you don't have, right, if you do not have a strap, you can always support it with your hand. You could support it with your other hand, okay? Always breathing. You forget to breathe. Trust me, even I forget to breathe. I've been doing yoga for 20 years and it happens. You just find yourself holding your breath. You find yourself making grocery lists. So bring it back to center. Notice that happens. In fact, you want to notice that. Okay, you want to notice that. Extend the leg long and feel it. Like, how does it feel in comparison to the left? Is it tingly? Do you feel like one leg is longer than the other? These strange things happen when we pay attention to ourselves. Bend your right knee, extend your left leg up, place that strap in the ball mound or whatever you've got in the ball mound of your foot. Pause. Pause to feel before you do anything. Okay, what's happening in this left hamstring? Okay. So the idea is the muscle is going to tell you, your body talks to you, right? Your body's going to tell you, hey, yo, you're going too far. Like if I pulled my thigh toward my face and didn't listen to my body, I would hurt myself. So we want to really listen, feel and listen. But over time, your body will start to feel like it'll help you, it'll start releasing. So let's take the right leg long if you want. Again, notice if you've got space going on there. Let the elbow come down for support and then let that left leg open. Keep your right hand on your hip so you don't want to lift it up. You're on my phone. Notice what's stretching here. I mean, can you give a slight little tug on the strap to really find just that sweet spot? That's what we're looking for every time. Slowly bend the knee to bring it back to center. Take the strap in your opposite hand. Now, without lifting your left hip, just take it over towards the right side. You're going to find a stopping point. You're going to listen. Right? Some people feel it in the back of their knee, so just back off a little bit or bend the knee if you need to. Always, just keep listening to your body. This is a tough one. And then allow the left hip to lift up. Maybe it comes all the way across. So for this side, I can go a little bit deeper. So what does it tell me? Might be a little bit more flexible here in the left outer hip than I am on the right side for some reason. And I can say it's probably because of the way I sit when I'm at my computer all day. Things to notice. One more breath here. Twists are good. This is a twist too, right? Twists are good for cleansing the internal organs. Release the strap and extend your leg long. And now feel this leg compared to the right. Do they feel the same? Did you grow longer? Some people say they feel they grew longer. Reach the arms back and hug the knees into your chest. Now I want to get into a one bridge pose here. It can be intense to hold. So if you need to come down at all during it, just to rest for a moment, feel free to do that, okay? But bring your feet so about inner hip width apart. Reach your fingertips back. You should be able to kind of start feel the back of your heels, right? And I want you to engage your glutes. So squeeze the glutes, right? And then push your feet into the mat and lift your hips up, okay? So this is a little bit more active than some of the other poses. Your palms can be down. If it feels good, you can maybe clasp your hands underneath you. And if your elbows kind of bend outward, it's probably not the best thing for you. So if they can straighten and your little pinky fingers can touch the mat, that's totally fine. Otherwise, it's totally fine. Just be here with your palms down, chin towards chest, squeezing the glutes. If you have a block, okay, I will just show you an alternative, or a pillow. You could also, instead of being up here active, you just bring the block down to a low setting and really make this restorative. And you're not needing to work at all. Right, find my timer again so I stay on track here. All right. I think my cat touched it. Uh-oh. All right. So if you're up, I'm showing you options. Begin to roll down one vertebra at a time. Windshield wiper your knees right to left. And I want to bring you a little bit deeper into a twist. Okay. Twists are very, very good for creating healthy, healthy insides. So come to a fallen chair position. I want you to really push your belly button down towards the floor. We don't want to create any kind of curvature in the lower back. Really press down, engage your core. Extend your arms out to the side, and then just shift those legs over to the right. You want to keep that chair, like that angle in your legs if you can. You take your hand on top of the knees. You can extend your right arm out towards the left side. And if your left shoulder is really off the mat, then you can take your hand and just bring your hand to your rib cage. So bend the elbow and bring your hand to your rib cage. If you find that your knees are very far apart, you can put a pillow there, right? Mine are able to touch on this side. That's not the goal. You can look over your left shoulder if that feels nice. Right, cat, don't touch it. I want you to feel like you could actually literally breathe into the organs. Imagine you can breathe into your heart. Close the eyes and just breathe there. Breathe into the heart space. Breathe into your lungs. Visualize the breath moving through your body. Visualize the breath going into the liver. Flushing out toxins on the way out. And notice how I'm noticing, being in this pose just for a little bit more time, I'm feeling more relaxed. I can notice where I'm maybe holding tension that I can release. All right, take one more breath here. I'm going to take it to the other side really gently. So the idea is to kind of come out of a pose as you're exhaling. So take a breath in and slowly come back out. Extend those legs, open up the front of the body, and then bring it back in. Kitty, kitty. Okay, back to that fallen chair. Press the belly down, engage the core, palms down, and extend those legs over to the left. So here's where I have a little bit more tightness over here on this side of my body. My legs are open, so I'm going to put my block, because it's here, in between my legs for just a little bit of support. Arms extended out. Again, you want to have your shoulders on the mat. I'm looking over the opposite shoulder if that feels nice, or keeping it neutral. And if you notice, like I do, if I have more tension on this side of my body, I'm going to give myself permission to stay here maybe a little bit longer than I did on the other side.
And I do have a timer, which I'm loosely watching, but you don't have to time yourself, but you could. I usually go based on feeling when I'm practicing with myself. Give yourself permission to stay. And notice again where you're holding any other tension. It could be in your eyes, it could be in your jaw, it could be in your fingers or toes. Okay. And for some people, being still like we have been today in these different poses is hard. It doesn't mean if you don't enjoy it, it's okay. Know that you're creating great benefits for your body, though, as a reason to do it. All right, let's take one more breath. I'm going to give us time, hopefully, that it stalled. It's not going to kick me out. Cat played with my phone. He paused it for a moment. And just take your knees wide and roll side to side. If you'd like, you can stick your feet up in the air. You can grab your ankles, elbows go to the inner parts of your thighs. Happy baby pose. Move your ankles around. That might feel really nice. If it's accessible to you, you might be able to grab the outer edges of your feet or the inner edges of your feet. Explore. That's what this is about. This is your playground. This is the experiment zone. This is where you get to come to just get an idea about what your body is able to do, what it needs. Self-care, right? Okay. So I'm going to end with I'm going to come up to my seat. You're all going to come up to your seat as well. With a pose, this is my cat trying to get out. Okay. Called legs up the wall. If you are in your living room, have a couch, have anything nearby where you can just put your feet up against something, this is a beautiful way to end your practice. It's a beautiful pose to, de-stress. If you've been on your feet all day, you've been sitting all day, where you're closing your hips off, it's a beautiful way to just let all that blood pool, back down to the heart and help you create lightness, in the legs. So I'm going to take myself to the wall. I'm going to take also, if you have your pillow or a bolster or whatever, something soft underneath you. Basically, you're going to place that like a foot and a half or more away from the wall. And it's a little awkward getting there, but bear with me. I'm going to scooch up. Just going to sit on that and slowly come down. So this is one way to do it. Any way you can get into this pose easily. All right, so I'm about 2 feet away today, and I think I'm good with that. So 1.5 feet, 2 feet. My feet are just resting on the wall. You can have a folded blanket underneath your head if you want a little support for your head. You could put a blanket on top of you for just some warmth. Play with this, okay? You can use the wall for support and be completely restorative and just kind of peace out, right, for the rest of the time. This is our last pose. It's the last one. Legs up the wall. You can take the feet wider if you want, if that feels good. For me today, that's probably a little too much. This works better when you're closer to the wall, but you can experiment. I'm going to keep mine just kind of forward. My toes are splaying outward. Hands can be on the hips. Sometimes people enjoy that. You can bring your hands to your heart space. So notice that this elevates your hips a little bit above the heart, which makes it an inversion. Okay. Um, if you're somebody who has high blood pressure issues, I would just recommend not using a bolster or an elevated element at all. Okay. And then just breathe. Just notice, like, breathe again. Come back to the origins of your breath. Just how are you organically breathing? I have to let it out. He's raining down. And begin to close the eyes. my cat out so he's not bothersome. In this pose, it suggested that we stay for a minimum of 3 minutes. Again, your arms can be up by your sides, your arms can be overhead or goalpost arms, whatever feels good for you. This is your time. The final pose. This is where you just want to come back to the breath, feel the rhythm of your breath. And we're not forcing the breath here. We're not trying to elongate it. We're not trying to count it. We're just being observers to it. You check in real quickly with the quality of your mind, your thoughts. Back to kindness. This whole practice was being kind to your body. Becoming aware of where you might feel tension and tightness. I'm going to allow you another minute here just in silence. Let's just take a nice deep breath in. You're going to move the hands. Let the breath out. Slowly begin to walk your feet back down toward the floor. Maybe take out that block bolster or pillow. Pause there for a moment. And then just let your legs fall to the left and the right. And you open your eyes. Move the wrists around. And then if you can, just come onto your side body. And scoot yourself back onto the floor of your mat. And just give yourself one more nice big long stretch. So instead of doing what we would normally do Shavasana, we did legs up the wall today. And come onto your side body and roll up to your seats. So not a fast moving practice. We didn't do any standing poses today. Yin is often like that. All right. So just come back to your seat. Again, putting something underneath your seat just to end the practice. Big breath in and out. Just notice how you're feeling now versus when you started. You might feel lighter, you might feel more open, you might feel the energy flowing, you might feel just a little looser, maybe a little stronger, a little more clear-headed. Let's end our practice here together. Bring the palms together to your heart space. Bow your chin to your chest. Honoring this practice today without judgment. Honoring ourselves for showing up. So having a little gratitude for ourselves for choosing this practice today. And honoring each other that we can practice together, again, without judgment. We're all here for different reasons. And honoring the practice of yoga. Bring the thumbs to the center of your forehead. Lift your chin now away from your chest. Just kind of like honoring that inner sense of knowing. honoring your intuition, and that higher consciousness makes you aware of what you need. Big breath in. And exhale, change forward. Namaste, my friends. Namaste. Have a beautiful day wherever you're at, and thank you for practicing today. Take care.